Mhm.
Okay, so let's continue. Let's keep going. We dropped off last episode of the woman who was married to the Egyptian, right? And we talked about her story. So if you guys haven't checked that out, check out the episode we dropped before this one. But yeah, Jawhar, these stories are very hard to hear, right? And we also here in Arabia have heard so much stories of brutal beatings with whips and like stripping them in the middle of the streets and all these kind of stuff, right? And I know that they're all true because
Well,
you
there's
can't fake a
photographic
video, right?
evidence, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Can we
there
see? Can
is.
we see one of the?
So
Yeah.
we're going to now look at a photographic like evidence
Hmm.
of many things. So we wanted to start off with you regarding this right here. So explain to us what was going on in this episode and like this video here.
So this video, it's a more than 1 minute video of someone shoot it with their phones, I guess, with their phone from far away of a train station. There were thousands of Uyghur detainees wearing all the same uniforms and blindfolded with
Blindfold.
black yeah
Black blindfold, yeah.
yes, and also shackled on their back, and they were so you can play it if you want to.
Here.
So
I'm
people
going to
were
play it now.
transferring
Okay.
from one location to another location.
All right. Do you have any information about the internals of the train, what they were like, or if they were? No?
No, I don't know.
I guess one can only imagine. So here we go. Wow. So this was all filled up, and all of these are detainees.
Wow. That's a lot of people.
You can see clearly the blindfolds. They're all in blue jumpsuits.
And the location on the bottom left tells you the location was in the Bayin. It's a place in the Uyghur region. And what's written on their clothes, it's actually Kashir, which is Kashgar. Kashgar is only 40 miles away from my hometown, and they're on there's Han Chinese written on their shirts right there. Yes,
Yeah,
it's
at the back right
Kashir.
here.
I can't see the rest of the word, but I can see the first two words is Kashir, which is Kashgar. That is a one major city in the Uyghur region. Well, very well-known historic ancient city that has used to build up lots of mosques, and it was a beautiful place.
Hopefully one day, the whole thing blows over and everything goes back to the way it should have been, and we all get to go see it, right? So here they are sitting on the ground, chained to each other. And you see like it's a lot of people in black, these SWAT people. Like it's a lot surrounding them. It's like,
the ones with black uniforms are policemen.
Yeah, it says SWAT on the shirt.
Yes.
Special Weapons and Tactics Unit,
Yes.
which is like, these are the kinds of policemen you take to a building where they can clear a whole building out in like 5-10 minutes. What are they doing? Guarding, people who are chained up and blindfolded. It doesn't make sense.
Sure. Yeah.
There you go, there. Literally 1-to-1. The ratio of policemen to detainees.
Are there any Uyghur police? Are there any Uyghur police? Or are
I'm sure there are. I'm sure.
I mean,
becoming an Uyghur police almost is one of the way that can kind of guarantee you from not being sent to a camp.
Interesting.
I'm actually not sure if this was filmed by phone or cameras. It's just...
Well,
Yeah.
this is like
Interesting.
And this is not the only video that was leaked. There were also other videos, and I really recommend people check out the BBC documentaries and also the one that I think was done by Fox. It was if you see Uyghur documentaries, should be able to find it on YouTube. It's free, and then I think the journalist name is Isabel Young, if I'm not wrong, and it was actually nominated for an Emmy Award this year. So I really recommend people checking it out, because you will kind of have you will have a little idea of what is it like to live in the Uyghur region now, or walk around the Uyghur region now, and the level of surveillance is insane.
Wow. Well, we'll leave a link to these documentaries for those who are watching. If you want to go check it out, we'll leave a link in the description about that. So they catch them, they chain them up, blindfold them, put them in the blue jumpsuits. They get them ready, they put them on the train. As soon as they reach wherever it is they're going, whether it's concentration camp, labor camp, or just general prison, what then? What happens?
That's something that I wish I can find out. So many things could happen to them. It's just nowadays it's too hard to find out more information unless someone like who leaked this video can leak another video or leak another footage.
I mean, I hope he does, or she.
Yes, and also there were documents that I mentioned to you earlier. It was leaked by a government official, Han Chinese, that they could not bear with what is happening, and they actually leaked to people here. And I don't know what happened to this person.
No one knows, yeah?
Yes, well, we'll never be able to find out anymore.
I mean, you guys can see here. There's about like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, it's actually more than 300 pages. It's just this is the part. There is more than 300
and what
pages.
Is it? Yeah.
So this 12 pages thing. It's a booklet that is handed to the local. It's, if you translate the title here, it's the city of Turpan concentration education school student children questionnaire. No. I'm trying to translate it direct. Q&A strategy. I think something like that. It's hard to translate directly.
Right. Well, can you say it in? If you want, you can say it in. I believe this is Mandarin or Cantonese.
Yeah, it's Mandarin. 吐鲁番市集中教育培训学校学员子女问答策略. That's in Chinese.
So we'll try and find a way to put a subtitle for what you just said so that the people who are watching, but like to what you said, this is basically a questionnaire-ish kind of like, these are your answers to if everyone or anyone asks you what's going on, right?
I'm just gonna translate the questions. The first question is, where is my family? Where are they right now? Where's the location? And you can see the next to it, there's an English saying they're in training school set up by the government. The prescribed answer began, and then it says, they give them free tuition, free food, and they also have very good food. The food is worth 21 yuan each day. also it's better than what we have at home. What they eat is better than what we have. There are also bureaucrats studying with them, accompanying them to give them offer them assistance. They eat together, live in different dormitories, so you should never worry about their living quality, their life. If you want to see them, we can even arrange to make you guys Skype, well, to have video chat. So that's the first questions template for answer. Second is why does my family member needs to go to those to go training? And the answer is the reason we're sending your family to school to study is because they have, in a different level, they have been influenced. Their minds have been tainted by extremist religious thoughts and violent terrorism. And if they get influenced by some people with some extremist thoughts, or they get tempted, it could lead to a very bad cause. If they want to use those extremist thoughts to work with Sangu Shili, I don't know how to translate that. It's like three forces, which is someone who is advocating for independence, and then I forgot what are the other two.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I understood what you meant.
Yeah. So basically, it's just a template for how to tell people when they ask questions like this, and they have lots of you can see there were more pictures, and this is just the first page of it.
Wow.
And then here it says, so
when can this number 6 is, when can my family be able to graduate and leave school? And then the question is, anyone who knows Chinese medication, they know that any treatment they have it has a period of time, and this time it will be a board I don't know how to translate that. That means it's completely cut off communication with the outside. So they will mainly learn the Chinese Mandarin language, law, and also skills to basically cook, like either cooking skills or sewing, tailoring, or just skills like that. And also they will according to the Chinese law, they will have to clean up their place, they have to eat, they have to study, they have to do morning exercises. And besides acting or getting a good grade, being a family member, like you being a family member, you also have to follow the law, never believe in rumors. It's gone.
I'm so sorry, I cut off by accident.
It's okay. I can scroll down. I think I can see it.
Here, I shared screen again. There you go.
Oh, also, if you it says if you don't violate the law, you can actually help your family add extra points. So the way you behave can also help
your family out. Wow.
Family come out, and they will have to pass. 及格 means, you know how in school you have to get more than C to be able to
pass,
to graduate, to pass. So they will have to pass, then get that they have to get certain grades, then they can be out, they can graduate.
Wow.
Okay.
And does it work? Are people do people buy it? Are they brainwashed by it? I feel like it's more obvious that it's like lies.
Well, in those are booklets that you give it to the children of those parents who are locked up, and those children are usually being approached by other people to ask, where are your parents? So they need to memorize those. And in their head, I'm memorizing those information in order to help my family out. So if I don't follow, then they might be locked up for longer. So most of the people would prefer to continue, or believe it or not, they would just memorize those information and to be the modern or to be the what is it called, the best symbolic or what is it called? The best student
Sure.
or
Yeah, the model
yeah.
student. Mhm.
Yeah, model student. Yeah,
Mhm,
that's the
mhm.
word. Yeah.
I see. Yeah. Do you know how many people are in these camps, prisons, whatnot? Just like the amount of people. Do you know?
Sorry,
The
what was the
number,
question?
do you know the number of
Oh,
people that are in these camps?
so
Am I
I
lagged or can you guys hear me? I'm sorry to interrupt,
You're
but I
good.
think I'm.
I can hear you. Yeah,
You guys
I
can
can
hear?
hear you.
Okay, sorry.
Yes.
Keep going.
So it's very hard to find out how many people are locked up, since they're just so limited access to the region. But according to the UN, people, there were experts try to gather testimonies and also calculate what's the waste, how much waste
Mm-hmm.
they calculate what's the waste of from the trash and from water, and then they try to calculate how many people live there, and also the size of the camps. Each camps, according to testimony, each room has like 30 to 40 people living in a small room, and people, when they sleep, they don't even have place, they don't have beds, they like 20 people line up like this next to each other, and rest of the 20 people will stand against the wall, and they take turns every 2 hours to sleep because they just don't have spaces. So
Wow.
according to those testimonies, there are over at least 1 million, at least minimum, about 1.1 million to 1.8. We have also heard that there could be up to 3 to 4 million. So at least it's there are 1 to 1.8 million people have been to the camp for sure. I'm not exactly sure, since I'm
Mm-hmm.
not there.
It's hard.
I am not sure if there are currently
Mhm.
that many people, but at least more than 1 to 1.8 million people have been to the camps.
That's a lot of people, to say at least.
That
Yeah.
is.
Mhm.
Yes,
So we could say anywhere from 1 million to about 8 million.
that's almost half size of Bahrain. So
That's like 8 million is like double Kuwait's population. So it's
Mhm.
like.
Well, I mean, here's what I want to know. Didn't like when the Holocaust happened, didn't we put in checks and balances so that this could never happen again?
yeah, we always thought never again was a
Mhm.
thing, but it is happening again, unfortunately. And China is more powerful than ever. Well, which I'm happy for China. Well, I'm happy that you're powerful and you're economically grown. I've lived there for 18 years. I'm happy for any country's growth. But if you're growing by exploiting, by torching a group of community, then that is not okay. That's not something that I would be happy, or anybody would be happy. At least I believe anybody would be happy about.
Mhm.
I want to ask. I don't know how people are gonna take to this question, but what I want to know is like, is it working? Is their brainwashing tactics like actually working, or do the Uyghur people still hold on to their faith?
I'm sure there are some people really happily have been brainwashed. I am not going to say which exactly of
Obviously,
my
yeah,
family
no, no,
members.
no.
I have family members in my family
Mhm.
are so brainwashed that when I had conversations with them about that this is not okay that this is happening, and they're trying to let me shut up for advocating. They're like, the government do this is for Uyghur people's own good. Like in the law, in the news, they said it because there were some people, they have some extremist thoughts in their heads. That's why they were locked up. But how do anyone's thoughts are like? How can you tell from anyone's thoughts? Like, and how can anyone? Let's say, okay, people had any evil thoughts, but they had never harmed anyone. How is it okay to put someone in prison who had never harmed anyone? How is it okay? And there are so many criminals in China are locked up and sentenced for like 3 years, 5 years, or a few months, or only have to pay some fine, then they will get out. But there are Uyghurs who are so innocent. They're not only Uyghur people, also Kazakhs and Kyrgyz. There are so many other ethnic minority groups in China. They are having their identities, their freedom, their culture being taken just for being who they are. And how is that okay? How is this something that is allowed to happen in 2020? Like,
Yeah.
I
Okay.
just don't get it.
And then I don't get it either. So isn't the UN's job to step in here, or
I wish
some?
UN was able to do something. Maybe you are aware, China is one of the 5 permanent country from the,
Hmm. So they have a big say.
Security Council. So
Mhm.
if
Wait,
UN
what's
wants to do
that?
any
I'm not too into the
permanent,
world.
so they are the one of the, so there are 5, we can look it up.
5
There are
superpowers.
yes,
Is
Yeah.
the
this the whole
countries.
veto thing?
Veto thing. China can
Yes.
veto. Hmm.
Yes. So
Wow.
if they want to do anything, well, China just against it, then it will never be able to
Fast.
put to
Wow.
action. Yeah. So and now especially US had quit UN. That's another.
Yeah. Hmm.
I'm not gonna comment on that. Okay.
Well, I can because I'm not in the US. That's completely retarded and dog shit. Why did they have to leave? Like the one time the US actually was needed is the one time they left, which is like I don't know what to say about that. Honestly, it's just wow.
I mean, it's the whole world's needed, kinda. It's like a global cooperation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should have been.
So basically, UN can't do too much about it. I wish UN was able to do something, at least take in as many Uyghur refugees as possible, at least do something to help the Uyghurs. If you can't stop it, then at least do something to assist it. That's what I really wish that's what I'm asking for UN. UN, are you listening?
Yeah. Again, please. Yeah. Come on, guys.
And
Yeah,
you did go on. You did talk to them, didn't you?
Yeah,
You
UN
went
General
on.
Assembly. I was invited to speak at the UN General Assembly with
And how was that? What
the
happened?
I tried my best.
Mm.
I was given the opportunity. Well, I was at the same stage with the U.S. president, the vice president, and even the UN General Secretary. But the entire community's attention at that point was on environment. At that point, it was 2019, something October. I think it was last October,
Mhm.
and all the news I saw very minimum coverage on the Uyghur issue during that UNGA event. Everything was about environment. I mean, yes, environment is very important.
Of course.
And
But what's the point of saving an environment if people aren't going to be able to,
well, they're
live
both very
through it?
important. It's like the same question of for me at least, I eat meat. Okay, so for me it's like, do you want to live with only chicken or only with vegetables? I mean, I love both. They're both very important to me, and then I don't want any of them be taken away from me. I really thought it was important to address all the important issue at the same time, but that during that event I felt the Uyghur case was a little bit ignored, and
Well, it's
all the
action's
attention.
taken or it's not, right? It's like,
Yeah, and I didn't feel too much progress after that. I thought there will be a huge progress. I did not, almost felt none. I have attended quite a few. I was invited to speak at quite a few very important events. And I was expecting a lot from the UNGA, the UN General Assembly event, but unfortunately, I felt like the attention was almost none.
I mean, like, just like also media attention, right? It's like,
Yes.
news is always so busy with like random rubbish, I'll be honest, especially in the United States. And it's like, there are things that are really important.
And too many things are so politicized, which I don't understand. Like, some issues are just, it doesn't have to be about politics. Okay, if it's about politics, you can pay attention to the humanitarian side. You don't have to politicize everything. It's things become complicated when you politicize it. And the least thing I want to do is to politicize the Uyghurs case, my father's case, This is the least I want to do. I don't know what other people think, but that's at least in my opinion. And this is a humanitarian issue. It's
It
nothing
is.
about politics. It's not about US want to fight with China. China wants to fight with the US. China wants to get stronger. Or it's about over 1 million people are put into camps or forced labor camps. They're having their language being taken away, their religion being taken away, their freedom being taken away, their children being taken away. Women are being sterilized, and their families can't see their children can't see their parents, and just I can't even talk to my dad. I don't know where he it's just nothing
It's not right.
political for me.
Yeah.
And for it's such a simple but complicated issue, but sorry, I'm getting
So I'm sure you
No, it's fine.
thought about this, right? What is the way, like, I'm sure you've thought about this. Like, if let's say in 10 years time we could go past this, right? What is the roadmap out of this?
Yeah. What do you see as the solution?
I'm not a policy expert. I'm not a politician, and I'm not a government leader or a country's leader. I'm just a simple girl who's in her 20s trying to get her father out. So I don't know how things work. I'm trying all the ways I could. I've tried to reach out to the president, the vice president of the US. I've tried to reach out to the president of the European parliaments. I've tried to do anything at like the most powerful people in the world. I have tried anything I could. I almost reached my limit of I'm not a rich kid or I have all those connections. I really tried my best to get to do what I can. I'm not earning money from any of those. I really do hope any of the strategies I've been trying to do, whatever, if it's documentary film or talking to medias or talking to you or just posting on social media or talking to government officials, doesn't matter which way works. I'm trying my best, and I hope who is listening, your viewers, I hope they can try the best they can, because it could be your family. Just imagine any of the things about that I had mentioned if you were
previous
listening.
episode, yeah.
Yes, that happened, or just not all of them that is happening, just one of them that is happening to you and your family. Can you accept that? Just imagine, just one of it. Will you be able to handle it? And will you go pat and said, okay, it's okay, I can't sit there and do nothing. So a few years ago, so many Uyghurs might not expect that this kind of things would happen to so many people, and it is happening. In the beginning, Tibetans didn't think it could happen to them. The Inner Mongolians didn't think it could happen to them. Hong Kongers didn't think it could happen to them, and see what is happening to them now. And it could happen to the next person, next region, or next country. China is already influencing other countries. They're helping Turkey to train their policemen. They have asked Egyptian government to deport 500 Uyghur students. What else they can do? They asked Thailand to deport the Uyghur refugees from the border. Like, what else can they do in the future? And if we don't do anything, we don't know when will be the next time that it will come to us or you or whoever that you care about. And that's why I get really frustrated when people say it's not of my business. I think everything is our business. Everything, anything that is happening to the world, it's our business. The world, the environment is our business, because we're all living in something is happening all across the world. It's also our business, because one way or another, we are being complicit if we're not doing any.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and if one person doesn't have freedoms, then none of us have our freedoms.
Yes.
Anyway.
It is. How do I say this? Because I know it in Arabic, but I don't know how to say it in English. I think the saying is, he who stays silent in the face of the oppression is an oppressor. It's as simple as that. He who stays silent in the face of oppression is an oppressor himself or herself, right?
What is it in Arabic?
I forgot it, dude. I know it's roughly in the Kuwaiti dialect how to say it, but like the actual, because this was from a famous like person back.
I think I've heard a similar thing before.
It was the Prophet's cousin who said this, right? And his sons also adapted the same mentality of, when you see someone being oppressed and you're silent, you are equivalent to the person who's oppressing. So, and I hold this near and dear to my heart. That's why I've always, and I've said like last episode, I've always wanted to do this episode. Talk about what's going on in China, because this is disgusting. Now it's leave politics out of it. Leave world politics out of it, leave religion out of it, leave everything out of it.
Mm-hmm.
If we take this as simple to as a human being, humanitarian cause or aspect, all these things that have been happening, it's like, I don't know what to say, honestly. It's just disgusting to hear. And it's like the world has turned a blind eye to it, yet they teach us about 4 or 5 million that were in concentration camps in Nazi Germany, but they turned a blind eye to 8 million. That doesn't make sense to me. It does not make sense to me. That's the issue here, is that how has this been going on, and how is this still going on?
Yes, it's not been happening for a day, a month, or a year. It's been happening to so many years, and it's not, I don't see it going any way better. That's why I get really frustrated when I feel really helpless. And well, now I don't feel like I'm fighting alone, because I do see the increased number of people caring about the issue and they always ask, what can I do to help? What can I do to help? And then I just list so many times on Instagram, I see posts about people said, how can I help? I just write like 10 items, doom, 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 doom. So people don't have to say.
I was gonna ask you this.
Yeah. So people don't have to say like, oh, I don't know how to be, I don't know how to be involved.
All right, tell us, how can we be involved?
So tell us, how can we?
So many things. Which way will work the best? I have no idea.
List them all.
Maybe it will take a day or 10 years or 100 days. We don't know. But as long as we're all nonstop, advocating for this issue, then it's a matter of time. It will change one day. I always believe that. My dad told me that too. And so first of all, I would like to urge your viewers or your listeners, the people who are listening to this podcast or video. One thing I recommend is to stop purchasing items that are produced in the concentration camp, which is cotton products that are made in China. 80% of the cotton products are from the Uyghur region. Did you know that?
No.
And yes,
I didn't.
No, I did not know that.
80%. 80%. So that's almost make majority of the clothing, textiles,
and everything's made in China. Like everything comes from there. So
yes. So please stop buying it. And there are especially recently, if you check reports, and it's called Coalition to End Forced Labor. It's call to action, and it can provide specific guidelines for the brands to stop working in those regions or somehow involved in human rights abuses in China. So you can include the link to it. Coalition to End Forced Labor.
Has any brand or anything taken action to pull out?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. That's
H&M was functioning in the Uyghur region, and last week they have publicly announced that they will cut all their ties with China.
I hope people follow. I hope other brands follow suit.
That are involved in the Uyghur issues, which I was like, yes. So
of course, like that's amazing to hear. Shout out to H&M.
Yes, Adidas as well. Tommy Hilfiger also. They had.
This is why I rep their brand.
Yes, but Nike refused to do that. Nike refused to.
That's why I don't wear Nikes.
And
there's a lot of money.
And also Zara, I remember once I read about they lied about what was that? I think they said that they reached out to human rights NGOs and said they were clear from forced labor. After they said they have reached out to the NGOs, but after the French EU member Raphael Glucksmann had reached out to this NGO, the NGO said no, Zara never reached out to us. So they lied about it. So they're still somehow exploiting the Uyghur labor, and then they're not admitting it, and they lied about it, which I don't think
not okay.
I don't really honor that. And I was really upset because Zara was my favorite brand. It's cheap and it's stylish. Of course I love it, but I've stopped purchasing from them since I learned about the forced
Mhm.
labor. And now majority of my clothes are made in, it's always made in Morocco, made in India, made in Bangladesh, or just anywhere else. That is at least, I don't know that they're exploiting people.
Mhm.
And I buy stuff from local stores, from local brands. I also, another way you can support your local Uyghur owned businesses. Wherever you are from, I'm sure in your country or in your state, there are some Uyghur owned restaurants or Uyghur owned business. There's also Uyghur online store called Uyghur Collective. You can buy shirts, which is Google Uyghur, or there's like very beautiful design of Uyghur traditional patterns, etc. And you can buy Uyghur hats, etc. Just to help the Uyghurs out.
Of course.
It's
Yeah.
yeah, it might be not a lot of money, but it shows a gesture. Just make them think, okay, we have people caring about us. We're not forgotten.
Mhm.
And also, you can, no matter which state you're from, you can write to your local government officials to make them sign and vote for the Uyghur forced labor bill to be passed. So a few months ago, the Uyghur Human Rights Policy Act bill was passed, and it was signed by the president. And now there's Uyghur Forced Labor Act bill, and we're hoping to get that passed as well. If that bill is passed, U.S. will have to legally take actions to put sanctions on those companies that are being complicit in the Uyghur forced labor or involved in Uyghur human rights abuses.
So is it just cotton, or is it other things that like
Other-
what?
Yeah, what else?
Yeah, what else?
Others.
Like
Well, if you look online, you will be able to find the list of over 80 companies that are involved in Uyghur forced labor. But there's some of them that I mentioned earlier that they have refused. They have stopped.
they have stopped
Agreed,
cut ties.
or they agreed to. Maybe they haven't, but they agreed to.
But for
fight
the longest time, all these companies have been. That's how they've been making products in China and exporting them to us through on the back.
Yes, so you will be able to find online of what those companies are, and the ones that they didn't announce, and the ones refused to, like Nike refused to cut their ties. You can write to them and tell them, this is not okay, and I might consider not buying it from you anymore. And then you can do campaign online on social media, even though I hate social media, but I have to admit social media is a very powerful tool.
It is powerful.
Yes. In China, the reason why the government is censoring everything online is because they know how powerful internet is, and they know how people's voices.
You can't hide everything forever. Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, they can try all they want to censor, but I don't know, right? Like things do get leaked all the time.
Yes. Yes, there's one way or another. We'll always find out.
All right, so what?
Time.
Yeah, so you can't use Facebook, you can't use Instagram, you can't use all those things in China.
Not Twitter, not Pinterest, not even
TikTok?
Google. TikTok, it's Chinese though.
I see. That's why they're trying to ban them here, right? I hear.
TikTok is Chinese, and they actually can have access to your information. That's why I don't recommend you having it. I don't have it. Yeah, I never downloaded it.
We were going to make one for the show, and it was my responsibility to do one. Then I was just like,
well, get some like dumped phone or some phone that you won't use anymore. Maybe.
I have one right here. I have like my old like. And
use an account, like if you register an email that you will never use, that you're not afraid of having your information leaked. So yeah, I just stopped using any Chinese apps. So the most well-known apps that leaks all your information is the WeChat and the TikTok. So I don't use them anymore.
Wait, so TikTok has access to your information, and it sends it directly to the Chinese government?
Yeah. That's why US was trying to ban it, because it can have access to everything in your phone.
But it hasn't banned it yet, right? You can still get.
They were trying to, but I think because of yesterday in the court, I think they against it, or so they no longer will ban it. And then I think they have something to do with Walmart, or I'm not
Walmart,
too
yeah,
sure
someone
now.
bought it
I
and
just
someone's making a lot of money off it.
I
They're like, yeah, sure.
I
it on.
think I just glanced. I just glanced at the. Actually, let me look it up.
Yeah, please, because it makes like a lot of like if the Chinese government spying on literally every like whatever 13-year-old on the planet with TikTok. It's like, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it will be very good to know about that information, but I am trying to look. I think I just read it yesterday or the day before yesterday.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I did not remember it wrong. Yeah, it was correct. So TikTok is going to work with, I don't know, the article I read was in Chinese, so I'm having trouble translating it. But you will be able to find it online.
Sure.
Just
all right. So give us the general
right.
idea. Give us the general idea.
Yeah.
What's up with TikTok?
So they were planning to ban it in the beginning, but now they're no longer banning it because their TikTok has made an agreement with
Microsoft, I think.
I'm not sure if it's Microsoft but they have something to do with Walmart and Walmart. I think that's Walmart, right? Yeah, Walmart. It's Walmart. Yeah, I'm trying to translate it in my head. It's Oracle. So the companies deal with Oracle and Walmart, allowing apps' U.S. operations to continue. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Well, Jawhar, I wanted to ask you if you have ever come to like places in the Arab countries and talked about the ongoing situation that was happening there.
No.
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 You know what للأسف means?
درست عربية في جامعتي, so I speak a little bit شوية.
Not bad. Not bad. Well, that's very impressive. Well, للأسف you didn't come
I studied a little. Just I forgot everything now.
I basically said I said unfortunately للأسف. Unfortunately, you did not come. I really wish you did, because I think it's time for Arabia to wake up to what's going on with their Muslim brothers in China, which is like, because you know what's weird to me? I'm usually not allowed to talk about things like this, but might as well. What's weird to me is that, like, okay, we said that remove religion out of it, it's a humanitarian cause, but like, in the end of the day, these are considered our brothers in faith and our equals in humanity. So for my side of things, I would expect at the very least the Arab or at least Muslim countries to stand up and do something, whether it's talk, whether it's bring awareness. But it's sad to see that is not happening. It's not.
And
so
some Arabic countries even signed the letter in support of Chinese government.
They have,
yes,
as well as Israeli government too, but like that's a whole nother story for another time. But like,
I one thing I wanted to note, so when we see a bad behavior, we have to point it out. When we see a good behavior, we need to point it out too, right? So last year, or was it the year before last year? So anyways, the last time when there were over 40 countries signed the letter in support of China, there were many Muslim countries involved, and obviously Saudi Arabia and lots of countries had signed. Qatar signed, and soon after they withdrew their signatures because they thought it was not okay. Maybe they didn't. Yeah, which is good. That's why I wanted to point out it's good, and I really wanted to point out that don't be afraid to make mistakes. Of course, we want to avoid making mistakes, but it's never too late if you change your behavior once you realize it's a mistake.
I wonder, did Kuwait sign? Do you know where I can find this?
I think let me find out.
Go ahead.
I think I saved it somewhere.
Go ahead. I'm very interested. I want to know if Kuwait signed or not, because if they did, I won't lie, I'd be very disappointed.
I mean, the way she was describing the culture of like women wearing hijab and like
Yeah, it's exactly
culture,
the
it's
same as
exactly the
here.
same. Yeah, they could like live in Arabia. We could probably live there, you know, in many ways, right?
Yeah,
You'll find
it's similar. That's why I
so
was.
yeah, similarities.
So I honestly like I do wonder like
Hmm.
Did I even mention the halal organ thing?
the what?
Halal organ.
No.
Yeah, so lots of Uyghurs, because their organs are being sent to Muslim countries like Saudi Arabia, because they want obviously halal organs, and China is one of the top suppliers for organs, for organ transplants.
Organ
And
transplants. Oh
yes,
my
and they are
God.
providing those organs to those Muslim countries. And where are those halal organs are from? Uyghurs.
Did you know that this is like in medicine, this is like one of the most illegal thing you can do, organ harvesting? Like organ harvesting is not only completely illegal and unethical, but it's just like morally wrong to even accept where it's coming from, as though they had the choice to even in the first place, which is like, wow, that's
I think you should be able to find information on that. There were 37 wealthy Saudi buyers that received organ transplants from the Uyghurs, and I think you should be able to find it.
I can't find it here. Let me look it up real quick. Organ harvesting China. Wow, it already like found it here. Let me do that. Share.
I found the 46 government have just approved. Yeah, I found the. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Here, there's even a.
Yeah.
The Chinese Communist Party's fucking go. Okay.
I think this is not about the Uyghurs. This is about Falun Gong. This is not the.
It's something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're doing it everywhere.
It's to another religious group.
Oh my God.
They're Chinese religious groups, and it happened to them way before it happened to the Uyghurs. So before we forget, I wanted to mention about the countries. So for the 46 countries that signed the statement supporting China, it has Bahrain, Belarus, Burundi, Cambodia, Cameroon, Central African Republic, China. They put themselves in there too. And Comoros, Congo, Cuba, North Korea, Djibouti, Egypt, Equatorial Guinea. Sorry, some pronunciation I might be pronouncing
you're completely fine. Don't worry
incorrectly. Eritrea, Guinea-Bissau, Iran, Iraq, Laos, Lesotho, Mozambique, Myanmar, Nepal, Nicaragua, Niger, and Oman, Pakistan, Palestine, Papua New Guinea, Philippines, Russia, Saudi Arabia, Serbia, Solomon Islands, South Sudan, Sri Lanka, Sudan, Suriname, Syria, Togo, United Arab Emirates, UAE, Venezuela, Yemen, Zambia, Zimbabwe. So those are the 46 countries. Not this time. I don't think they
this one.
I don't think they signed it this time.
And they support. What is this? What were they supporting?
China.
So they were supporting China's action in the Uyghur region for combating terrorism, approved their policy.
It's interesting how you said Palestine on that list, and like
and to think that there would be some sort of relative. What was the word? When it's like it's kind of relatable to what's been going on. In fact, I would say it's much worse than what's going on there, right? And wow.
And shout out to Algeria that they did not. I remember they signed it last time, but they didn't sign it this year. So
What about Kuwait? I'm worried because
I think they did. I
You
think
have to
they
go ask
signed.
yourself.
I think they signed, but they didn't sign it this year. I think. Well, I'm not entirely sure because I can't remember all the names.
I mean, there's like 180 countries in the world. I'm not expecting
Yeah.
you, to be honest. Like, there's so much.
Yeah, but I do remember Saudi Arabia signed both times and Egypt signed both times.
You know why I'm
Pakistan
worried?
signed both
Because Kuwait is known for, because our leader is known as a humanitarian world leader and things like that. So, like, I don't think we did sign, but I'm gonna quickly search. Did Kuwait? Here we go. Did Kuwait sign its approval on, how do you spell it?
I think you just if you look at like that way, I don't think you'll be able to find it. I think you just find a government UN government list of countries that signed the statement supporting China. I think you should be able to find it. Let me look it up actually. I'll actually have to go soon because I have another meeting at 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
I mean,
yeah.
Here.
We'll continue this.
Countries.
We'll just end it off on that.
China, Uyghurs. Let me first. I really am curious about this list too.
Yeah.
Oh, I found it.
Tell us about Lebanon and Kuwait. That's all we want to know.
Lebanon's too busy. I don't know.
Yeah, dealing with its own thing to worry about. Yeah, I know.
I mean, it's crazy that list had like Syria on it.
Like a lot of Arabic
UAE
countries.
on it. UAE, Yemen, but Yemen's also going through.
Oh yeah, so the Russia, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Cuba, Algeria, UAE, Qatar, Nigeria, Angola, Tajikistan, Togo, Philippines, Belarus, and it says a number of other countries. Okay.
Yeah, so like us to be a part of that number of other countries, but.
All right. Well, it's not right. No matter what country is doing it or not, it's like it's not. We know, right, what the truth is, and that it's not right.
It's not.
Be doing this.
It's not. So the only closing.
Kuwait did sign last time. Yeah.
Oh, they did. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah,
Quite disappointing.
Yeah, Algeria, Angola, Bahrain, Belarus, Bolivia, Burkina Faso, Burundi, Cambodia, Cameroon, Comoros, Congo, Cuba, Democratic Republic of the Congo, Egypt, Eritrea, Gabon, Kuwait, Laos, Myanmar, Nigeria, North Korea, Oman, Pakistan, Philippines, Qatar, Russia, Saudi Arabia, Somalia, South Sudan, Syria, Tajikistan, Togo, Turkmenistan, UAE, Venezuela, Zimbabwe.
Mm-hmm.
Well, honestly, it's a shame to hear that this is what's been going on. Yes, and I think we're ready to just wrap things up.
Hopefully, the next time when that list comes through, countries will making a difference. I hope so.
Starting to
increase awareness. So. If people make enough noise about it, the world will react.
Will happen. Mm-hmm. Well, my closing monologue would be to the people of Uyghur. I know there's probably no way that they'll be saying this, but Quran chapter 3 verse 169 and chapter 9 verse 111, this is what I say to them, right? Stay strong. Know that every cry, every blood spilled, everything is not going by unnoticed. And alhamdulillah for people like Jewher who are actually out there letting the world know that, hey, this is happening. In 2020, this is still happening, right? And it shouldn't be. So thank you so much for coming. And is there anything you want to shout out or let the world know? Anything?
Yes, just a final few information throwing at you guys. If you want to learn more information, please, if you are Instagram user, go find the page Uyghur Collective, and it's a page post about Uyghur information daily. It could be art, culture, it could be advocacy related. So basically, if you want to learn about Uyghurs, you can learn from this page. And if you are not a social media user, you can go find out Uyghur Human Rights Project. It's an NGO that is dedicated to do research on the Uyghurs, and they constantly do advocacy work, on activism work to help the Uyghurs. And also, if you're a Twitter user, you can follow me, or you can even follow me on Instagram, just Jewher Ilham. You'll be able to find me.
Link in the description.
Yes, you will also be able to. I post stuff almost daily. The Uyghurs. I don't post about. On Twitter, I don't post about food or like other stuff. It's Uyghurs related mostly. So if you want to learn about that, feel free to follow me. And then also you can pay attention to the documentary film that is coming up next February, and my upcoming book, also hoping to release by next year. Or if you want to already learn a little more, you can buy my first book. There are used version, so it's a lot cheaper, and for the students.
What's it called? The book? Where can we find it?
But you can just search Jewher Ilham. It will be faster.
You can find all that stuff. You can find it from her.
Yes.
Wow, the amount of respect I have for you to come and talk about all this. You're very strong.
Your story is inspiring, and I hope you carry on. And
may the next time we have you on, we talk about the freedom of these people and captives, inshallah. Anyways, this is us signing out. See you guys.
Yes.
Bye.
I'm pretty sure that.
I remember it is WikiLeaks that exposed that.
Like one of like the news channels, maybe it was MSNBC. The audience fact checked me, like not like
Sure. Maybe not. I don't think. I mean, you can take WikiLeaks however you want to take WikiLeaks, right? It's like it's information.
So, Ali, I had a question for you.
Sure.
I'm curious. This election cycle, do you plan on voting again?